going down, and the list got longer, and I don't know where to start. My grandparents have two sons, and Wilson Uncle and my dad. And we always had a special spot for Wilson Uncle. And we told that we have about 23 grandkids. And I thank God. And also, one situation that really reminds me when I went to India for my wedding. It's kind of actually a funny situation. It's like early morning, 4 o'clock. I hear someone breathing very hard, and I went outside and I saw someone was doing yoga. And as soon as he saw me, he said, "Hey, why don't you try it?" And with me packed up all this weight, it was really impossible. And I tried it for 2 minutes, and I gave up, and I said, I think I need to get some rest. And God also given us an opportunity to do a Benjamin family reunion during that time, and I thank God, and I remember every opportunity I get, how he danced and sang, and was very happy, and I never seen him like that. And every conversation that I had with him, he always reminded me that I am one of his sons. I do have a hope that one day tonight, go up to heaven. I know I'm going to meet him again. And one thing that really touched me throughout the whole situation was how much Susie cared for him. Maybe I'm not with the right crowd, but I never seen anyone cares for someone like this. And I'm sure how blessed he was. And I also thank Toji and Betsy for opening the door for us to come in and help us to spend more time with him. And I was recently thinking about this whole, after Wilson passed away, I still couldn't actually grasp that he passed away. Remind me of a small story that someone told where Jesus was walking through a garden and he saw this beautiful flower. And he couldn't resist. He took the flower and took it to the Father's house. And it reminds me of Wilson Uncle. And I humbly ask you all to pray for us, that we may live a life that is pleasing to God and help us to meet him again. Thank you, and God bless.
Before I start, my mom wanted to mention a couple things. And as you know, we all grew up in this church. Many of us grew up in this church, and we've become lifelong friends. Some of them marry their lifelong friends, as I did. And when the kids are friends, the parents end up hanging out, so then the parents become best friends. So I know that's very common for us too. And Susie Auntie and my mom have become best friends. Wilson Uncle and Susie Auntie have been best friends to my mom. She wanted to mention that Wilson Uncle was always there to help for any prayer meeting or any event at the house. He came to my baby shower. He spoke at it. He was the only man there and felt completely comfortable. He was always that way. Comfortable with everything, confident. He was always at the front. It's not his house, but he's the best host. Always at the front to help with the cake, serve the food, welcome everyone. He would take care of everyone, food-wise, cooking, hosting, and Mom wanted to mention how much he helped her do that, and every Sunday he did come to church, even when he was far in Naples and came. Susie Auntie and Wilson Uncle would take her to Udupi, and I guess the memories of the Masala Dosha Mondays would come on Sunday. He was always very loving and caring and cared about everyone's health and encouraged my mom to be healthy and eat healthy. And she wanted me to say how much she misses him. Forgive me that I like to be a little bit light, because when I think of Wilson Uncle, I think of him as the uncle who is the joker. There's no other uncle that I know that is funnier than Wilson Uncle. When I think of Wilson Uncle, I think of all the funny jokes. Most of them I can't tell here. But just in anything he would say, even at church when he gave a speech, he would always use analogies. Dason always used to say this all through college because it stuck with him. He would say what Wilson Uncle said at church. He said, "Be a goat, don't be a sheep." And that was Wilson Uncle. He wasn't a follower. He was a leader. He was a church leader, Sunday school teacher, father, husband. And, I mean, he coached his kids through soccer. I mean, they're soccer superstars, or they were. You know, they play every instrument. I mean, we would joke and say it's the Benjamin Band coming up. Wilson Uncle was that person that he could make a joke, laugh with you, and if you were laughing at him, he would laugh more. You know, he was a great sport. Sorry, I wrote a bunch of things that are all over the page, but I wanted to say the things that reminded me of him, that he was the type of person that was a host, that if you came to Wilson Uncle's house and there wasn't enough room to bed, he would give you his. He always made everybody feel so good, and he was so healthy and positive about everything, his outlook in life. Everything about him was very organic. He introduced us to Noni. He loved people, and people loved him. Everywhere he went, the girls would complain that if they went somewhere and they didn't find, they're like, "Where's Dad?" He's probably talking to somebody. You know, very friendly, very congenial. Just a wonderful, caring, loving, giving, humanitarian type of person. I love you guys. I love Wilson Uncle. He will be very much missed. He was close to all the children in the church. Gio used to call him the WB. He went to all our field trips to Busch Gardens, and he would sit in the back with us and joke and make all kinds of jokes. And we'd sing songs together. He was just that uncle that could relate to anybody. He could sing up at church and relate to crowds of people. He could relate to all of us children. He was just that type of uncle that made him so unique and so special. One of a kind.
Stefanus and the Lamb, they would say, Meadows are able to be in the Oven, in the Browns. പൗലോസ് അപ്പോസ്തലൻ മരിച്ചവരെ കുറിച്ച് തെസ്സലോനിക്കർക്ക് എഴുതുമ്പോൾ ഓർമ്മപ്പെടുത്തുന്നത് നിദ്ര പ്രാപിച്ചവരെ കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ അറിവില്ലാതിരിക്കരുതായിരുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് ക്രിസ്തുവുമായിട്ടുള്ള ബന്ധത്തിൽ മരിച്ചവരൊക്കെ ഈ നിദ്ര പ്രാപിച്ചവർ. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഉണർവിൻ്റെ ഒരു അനുഭവമുണ്ട്. അതാണ് വേദപുസ്തകം പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. ആ പ്രത്യാശ നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുടുംബത്തിന് അതുണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. നമ്മളെക്കാളൊക്കെ അധികമായി ആ കുടുംബം തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വേർപാടിൻ്റെ ശൂന്യതയും വേദനയും ഒക്കെ അനുഭവിക്കും. നമുക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും ആ കുടുംബത്തെ പ്രാർത്ഥനയോടെ ഓർക്കാം. ദൈവം നമ്മെ എല്ലാവരെയും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ. ഫ്ലോറിഡ സെന്റ് ലൂക്സ് മാർത്തോമായുടെ മേയുടെ അനുശോചനം പ്രാർത്ഥനയും നിങ്ങളോട് അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ദൈവം അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ.
To see Bessie, Betsy, and Bensi. I believe I have seen you children very few years ago, but the last time when I met Wilson was about maybe a week and a half ago. And the first time I met Wilson was about 30 years ago. So we had a nice exchange of discussions, and I haven't seen any kind of change in him, in his attitude towards life or his outlook towards life since I met him 30 years ago. So when we were having to be light-hearted, and I believe that Wilson lived that kind of a life, and he has showed that kind of mentality to others. So today, Wilson, I am sorry to see that, okay, we discussed that and also we planned it, but you are leaving, but that responsibility stays with all of us to make others' life easier and comfortable. And after he left to Sarasota West Coast, whenever he sees us, say, Achan, come by that way, come by. And unfortunately, I couldn't visit you at home there, but I was able to visit you and share your fellowship. Last week it was very precious. And when I heard about this news 2 days ago when I was in New York, and my daughter was also there, oh, Wilson uncle, she was also very shocked. For the first time she met him at this situation. So Wilson, we all will miss you, but it says that in the book of Revelation that a person who has been working hard, it is time for him to rest. So may God give you that eternal rest, and may God give you eternal peace to all of you family. Thank you. May God bless you.
Compassion and responsible person, whichever you assign to me. I had a chance to work with him while I was the president of the Kerala Samajam. He was the secretary of the Kerala Samajam. We had so much fun talking, doing, making things, making decisions. Many people, I know him last 25 years, but if you go back about 20 years ago, when I conducted a one program at school, unfortunately there was a chance not to open the school on time. And all the people are waiting outside with the Onam Satya, don't know how to get inside, and very hard. It was going to die. We all were panic. He just came and said, don't worry. We will find some way to get inside the school and we can do the program on time. I was a little worried too. So the way he took the things, I cannot forget that day. He told me, don't worry. That's the way he was doing all the time since I know him last 25 years. Even though he was in Nepal, I go sometimes and visit him. I brought up a property also with him, and he's always asked, "Endotu Viseshan?" As I heard somebody say it before. Second question he is asking, how is your diabetes? He's always concerned about the other people's sickness and welfare. I think the day is so sorrowful today, very sad. That's why from Westwam Beach to Homestead, the atmosphere is also crying with us. Wilson, we are with you.